All right then. Well, it's me, Isaac, again, and today we will be talking about my opinion, news sources, and how I'd rank them on this reliability scale. I have a top tier reliability, reliable, mixed, unreliable, and not fucking news. So, and with it, we're gonna talk about stuff, right? So, let's talk about the Hill, and we're not really gonna talk about much. I'm just gonna put them top tier reliability. Good source for news. I would recommend always having at least two sources for news. Um, and a really great way to do this is all sides, which I will put them in reliable. They will cover sometimes very random, odd stuff, and sometimes they're very slow with getting some big headlines to the top. So I would still recommend looking at other sources if you want to stay as up to date as possible. But they will summarize how they've seen the left, how they've seen a source on the right, how they've seen a source on what they designate as center bias cover a specific story. I appreciate it a lot. I check it every day, but I'd recommend if you want to stay up to date, check something else that's a bit faster. Something faster, CBS is pretty quick, and remain reliable. I'd say they're very good, and with CBS also comes BBC. They're connected, and so and very established, which it's been very annoying in recent years how the established media uh, is somehow now a poor is somehow makes it not a source at all, uh, which I think is just fucking ridiculous. Now let's go into some not news. Don't use social media for news like Twitter. I will always call it Twitter. It will always be Twitter. Truth Social. You should not use Facebook or TikTok or Instagram. Don't use social media. Also, don't use Infowars. Infowars sounds like a fucking comic book. Do not use a comic book for your source of news. Um, and also be skeptical too. Even in some of the stuff, I'm gonna rank high. I'm gonna rank CNN high, but sometimes I have a headline: Trump slams Biden mauled. Like I don't know, some verb that is fucking ridiculous. That sounds like something you'd see in a Batman comic. It's ridiculous. So personally, I think that's goofy. Fox News, I'll put unreliable. I want to put them in not news, but I'll just put them in unreliable. I check it every once in a while to see what they're reporting because a very large percentage of the population does use Fox News as their source of media. I work in a senior home. A shit ton of people use Fox News as their source of media, of news. Reuters, I would put top tier. Fantastic. New York Times. And Wall Street Journal. I'm glad they're next to each other because I will put them in the exact same tier. That was weird. I will put. This is tough. I think they get their stuff right, but they're both very opinionated. But they're not TV news. It's not something you're putting on the TV. They really are news like newspaper news. And it does make it a little bit hard to then compare them to something like CBS. Um and so I'm gonna put them in mixed, even though I think they're both great sources. I read the New York Times every single fucking day, and I'd recommend it. CNN, they're reliable. They are. They have bias as well, but it doesn't compromise their journalistic integrity, in my opinion, like like it does Fox. Also, with the New York Times, Wall Street Journal bias, it's more uh the opinion mixed in with the news itself, and so again, I don't think it compromises them. I would just say New York Times and Wall Street Journal, I don't think are the best sources to just strictly get your news. But they're great. I love reading them. The Washington Post, I'm very upset at them. The writers were unable to release their endorsement for the 2024 election, which I think's fucked up. I think it's ridiculous that the owner would then compromise the journalistic integrity to such an extreme degree. And so I'm going to put them at either the low end of mixed or the high end of unreliable. Because to me, I'm just upset. Even if you get your facts right, I find that very upsetting. I'll put them at the low end of mixed. Newsweek, I feel like they're just a bit too ridiculous with their headlines. They're too ridiculous. I'll put them in mixed. The Onion is it's either not news or it's top tier reliability. It is. I think it's spot on every fucking time. It's perfect. New York Post, it's tabloid. It's fucking tabloids. And so I will put it with Fox, because it's tabloid. It's sensationalism, which we see a lot with 24-hour news coverage nowadays, which is really just meant for like an event like 9/11. But because there's not a 9/11 very often, 24-hour news coverage requires to nitpick at very small things and make shit very dramatic. In the New York Post, it's drama. It's juicy, bitchy drama. Daily Show's not news. However, they're not really pretending to be news. It is. Fox News has criticized them a lot in the past for having too much bias as a news source, even though it's not news. It's late night comedy. And so to compare to, if you're trying to pretend to be news, don't compare yourself to The Daily Show, because it's not. At least they're being a little bit more honest. They're not news. The OAN's not news either. OANN or OAN News. But they're pretending to be. But they're just don't even fucking bother with them. They have this broadcaster, I can't remember his name, who says, even when I'm wrong, I'm still right. I'm still right. And that is some Ron Burgundy shit. That is ridiculous. Al Jazeera, I'll put them in mixed. MSNBC, I'm going to put them with Fox. I think it's just a little bit too ridiculous, Politico. Whew. Shit. I appreciate their fact checks. Oh, shit. Okay, fine. C-SPAN, top tier. The Hill, not news, obviously. NBC, I'm going to put reliable. And ABC, let's finish it off with, I'll say they're pretty reliable. So yeah, this is my tier list with To the Hills. And overall, if you like the video, like, subscribe, I guess. And if you don't, then you know what? What you gonna do, bitch? What you gonna do, bitch? Fuck you. Fuck you.